Okay, this is the Help to Perform video for the Super Mario Brothers theme. And so I've gone into GarageBand. I'm going to create this as a demonstration. But for you to perform this as part of your project this week, you don't have to do this in GarageBand. You can do it on any instrument. But I'm just going to demonstrate it on GarageBand of how you do it. And you might like to use this as a way to help you to understand this really complicated rhythm. Okay, so I've created a new project with a smart piano, and the first thing I'm going to do is just on the right hand side where you've got the red button. I'll tap on that, so I've got a piano keyboard at the bottom there. Okay, so next thing, let's change the instrument. So we tap on grand piano. In fact, I'll move that back to the other side, and we'll go to Synth Classics. Synth short for synthesizer, and the one I'm going to use is Quantum Keys, because I like the sound of that one. There we go. And press done. And let's set up the tempo. So tap on the cog at the top right hand corner. And the tempo of this was 96 beats per minute. Oops. There we go. And if we just tap settings, we can also check that the time signature is correct. Yes, at 4/4. And the key signature is C major, which is great. Let's tap the cog to close. Now, as the same problem as we had last week, we want to be able to draw notes into a box, but there's no way to create the box on this version of GarageBand without recording. So let's press record. Let's just press one note, and that's enough for us. We can delete that note in a moment. So first of all, I need to make that green box to be the full length of the melody we're going to be inputting to begin with, and it's going to be 3 bars long. So just drag out the end there until we get up to the number 4, which is 3 bars in length. And if we tap on it and go to edit, let's find that note that we recorded in. In fact, if you switch your pen tool on and tap it, then it'll disappear. Okay, so the rhythm grid that we've got from our analysis, the orange grid with the black crosses in it, that's what we're going to use to be able to enter this rhythm hopefully correctly. And we want to make the grid the same as our grid on the screen. Now you see on my GarageBand at the moment, I've got 8 bars. I'm 8 bars long. 8 boxes in each bar. So if I just zoom in a little bit, there we go. I've now got 16 boxes in each bar. So if I look along that orange line, I've got a cross in box 1, 2 and 4. So let's put the first one in. 1. You see it's drawn it so that it's too long, so I'm just going to shorten it. There we go. Now every other box I draw should be that same length. So 1, 2 and 4. And we want in boxes 6 and 7, so nothing and 5, 6 and 7, and box 9 and box 13. And one of the rhythmic features of this piece of music, this melody, is syncopation, the use of syncopation, and that means where rhythms feature notes that are on the offbeat rather than on the beat. Well, there is a note on beat 1 right at the beginning, but if you look under box 5, you'd expect there to be a sound there really, because that's a strong part of the beat. But just by having a rest there, it creates a sense of complexity in this rhythm, and that's one of the things that makes this so complicated to play. Okay, so that's called syncopation. All right, so we've done the first bar. Let's move along. Let's look at the second bar here. So in that second bar, we've got a cross in box 1, box 4, nothing in 5 and 6, but we've got something in 7, and then we've got something in 10, so 8, 9, 10. Whoops, that went in 11. Just tap on it again if you get it wrong, and it'll disappear. That's 12. Nothing in 13, and then we want 14. Oops, and 15. There we go. Not sure what was going on there. So this rhythm, even though some of these notes are longer notes, I'm just at the moment putting out or putting in the notes at the starting points of them. And I said to you in the other video for this melody this week that it has a staccato feel, which means that a lot of the notes are shorter. So that's not why I'm not particularly worried about lengthening them at the moment. Now, if we look into this third bar, at the beginning of the third bar, I've got a triplet rhythm, triplety, it says. And the triplet means I've got to play those three quavers in the time of 2. Now, the grid on the screen doesn't help me with that because I don't have a triplet grid. So I have got a workaround for you that I'll show you that in a moment. So for the moment, I'm just going to put the cross in that I've drawn under 1. There it is. And I'll put the 1 on 5. And we'll fill in those other 2 notes in a moment. So there's 7 and 8. Nothing in 9. We want something in 10. Nothing in 11. We want 12. Whoops. 12, 13 and 14. And that's the end of our rhythm. Now, let's switch the pen tool off and listen to that so far. Okay, now, to me, that sounded correct, but it sounded complicated. It is complicated. This is going to be an incredible achievement if you can do this and you can play it and you can get it accurate. So let's move things on to the right notes. So that first one there needs to be an E. Oops. And in fact, all 3, the first ones are E's, aren't they? And then this is a C, so that can stay. Notice it's on C4. That's important because that's the exact pitch that I'm aiming for. So I've got E, 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 C, E, G. There's the G. And then remember this G here is on another G, but it's on the octave below. Let's listen to that. Do we recognise it yet? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, let's have a look at this second bar. So we've got C, that's where we started from, G, and then E. Next one is an A. If it zooms it in like that when you hold your finger down too long, don't worry about it. The next one is a B. And then we've got B flat A. Now B flat, remember, is the black key just below B, or just below it on this screen, and then A. Okay, let's listen again. Brilliant. Now then, let's do this complicated bit. G. And let's put in the next bit. So we're missing out the E and the G for the minute. We'll need to record them in a second. And then we're up to A. But it said it's a high up A. It's even higher than that. All the way up there. That's a big jump, isn't it? And then this note is on to F. Oops. G. I lengthened that by accident. Okay, the next one is an E. And then we've got C, D, B. There we go. Let's listen to it again. Brilliant. Right, that's starting to sound like it's really good. Now then, if I just press done at the top corner of the screen, and then I tap my finger on the instrument itself, so the keyboard on the stand, tap once and press duplicate. So it makes me another track underneath, just with the same instrument loaded. Now, the reason I've done that is because I want to be able to record this triplet line. Sorry, these 3 notes that are triplets. If this is the pulse, and I want to understand where that triplet rhythm fits, I would say triplety on every beat, saying the tri on the beat. Triplety, 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 tri. So basically it's a third of a beat for each one, which is why it doesn't fit into our grid. However, we can quantize to a triplet beat, and I'll show you how we do that. So I'm just going to play in that triplet rhythm, and I'm going to do it on one note, so I'm not having to worry about the pitch at the same time. Triplety, 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 triplety. So I'll put my triplety in there. Now I can go to the mix button, go to track settings, quantization. This time look at it. Usually whenever we've done projects before, we've always at this point we've tapped straight. But today we're going to tap triplet just for that track. And we're going to go to 1/8 triplet. Now, if we go back into this by pressing edit, we want to put, actually this note I've already drawn in at the top, so we don't need that, we can delete it. But the next two, we're going to move them up onto the E, that is E4. So hold your finger down on it. Whatever you do, don't move left or right, because it's in time. Oops. So a little bit delicate then to do that. And then this other one has to go all the way up onto the G above that. And again, let's do that again very carefully. There we go. And by not moving left or right, then it'll stay in time. Just press done. And let's press play from the beginning and see if it works. Yeah, it works. That's exactly what I was looking for. Fantastic. Okay, last thing to do. I mentioned in the analysis when I was talking about these melodic shapes that actually in the original bars 2 and 3 are repeated straight away. So I don't want to repeat, I don't want to loop that bar 1, because that's kind of like almost like an introduction. That's what it sounds like to me. So instead, I'll tap on it, move my play line to here, tap once, and then go to split, drag my finger down where you can see the scissors, and it split it. So then I can tap it again and go to copy. Let's paste it here. And remembering that this is in the second half of that melody above, I can copy, and then we want to paste it at bar 5. So this should be the whole melody now. There we go. That's the opening of the Super Mario Brothers theme. Now, yes, it's complicated. It's so complicated, and it's made complicated because of that syncopation and because of the position of the semi-quaver rests. But I think if you can create that and you can learn to play that, it will take some patience, but it will be worth it, because it will be something that you can really be proud of.